everybody, it's Kathy Champion, and welcome back to our fifth installment of our little Christmas album for 2019. I did go ahead and put mine on the rings, and these rings I believe are 1.5 inches, but you can use a 2-inch. If you wanted to put more pages in it, you could go to a 2.5 or a 3. But these are just little rings that you can buy. I think I picked these up at Tuesday morning, but this is an assortment of different sizes. I did use the larger one, and this one does measure about 1 3/4. I have some 2-inch rings, and I think these are 1 inch, maybe about 1 1/4. So they come in a variety of sizes, so you can pick them up at most any craft store, and they're basically just a little ring that opens like this, just like that. So, and they're not very expensive either. So, and if you get a pack of them like this, I think these were $1.99, and you do have an assortment. So, just wanted to let you know exactly what I used. Now, in the last video, we had worked on this page, and we had put this little band down, and we got room under here for something, and we've got room here that we can stick pictures or tags or however we decide to decorate this. What I want to do now is I want to start off working with this inside, and first I want to show you, everybody says they love that I leave my mistakes in, so I'm going to show you what I had done off camera that did not work. And I was going to go ahead and cover it up and not say anything, but I thought, no, this is a learning process for everyone, and I wanted you to see my mistakes and my boo-boos as well as what I do right. So anyway, I had made this little gusseted pocket and put these little snowmen on it, and I thought it was adorable. And I glued it in. As you can see, I have a rip on my paper because I had to lift this up. I'm going to set it back down and show you what the problem was. There was too much dimension here. It caused my magnet not to work. So I took it up, and I'm going to use this somewhere else. It just couldn't go there. So I took it off. I did tear the paper a little bit, but I'm going to put down another pocket that's going to lay flat. So we can still slide some pictures in here. It's still white. I'm going to put some decorations on here. Haven't decided exactly what, but I am going to glue this on both sides and the bottom, and that's going to leave us a nice little pocket right there. So let's do that first, and then we'll get back over to that other page. I cut this a little bit bigger than I wanted it, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to actually, as I get my glue on here, and I stick this down, I'm going to arch it just a little bit. So if you don't use a pocket that has a gusset, what you can do is when you put this down, like so, you can pull it in just a tad, just the tiniest little bit. And when you glue that, you're going to have just a little bit of lift. Just make sure I get this press down good so that it does stick. And if you notice, I've got enough of an edge there where I can stick a tag in or a picture or whatever. Now, and I also did do the same thing here that I did on that other page. I can't talk this morning. I punched out another snowflake out of that beautiful sparkly silver paper, and like I did here. And I did have to do a little bit of doctoring here too, because this had stuck down to my pocket and it made a mess, and I couldn't get a tag in without tearing it. The one that was in there was glued down. I actually tore the screen. I patched it. Nobody would ever know that it was done. I put another little piece across here of the polka dot, put the snowflake back on it. So I just want to let you know that no matter how much you've crafted albums, you still make mistakes, but you can usually salvage your mistakes, which you see what I just did. I took care of those mistakes, and now I'm ready to move on to my next page. So what I've done here, and like I said, we're back to this little page here. I want to cover this, but before I cover it, I want to put my magnets down because I want this to have a magnet closure right here so that everything holds in place. So I'm going to grab my little disc magnets. I'm going to have to open a new pack, but that's okay. Again, this is what the packaging looks like, and these are available at May Made It. So I will definitely link everything that I'm using will be linked in the description. And I'm just going to tear this paper back because I've used these quite a few times, and I know that these types of magnets have this little plastic over them. So the tray actually is like a little storage tray to keep them in. And that little plastic piece pops up like that. You want a positive and a negative, so I'm going to pop out, oops, I'm going to pop out one positive and one negative. And I'm going to let them kiss each other. So now when they kiss, you will have the adhesive on the one side on the back, a plus and a negative on the other side. And then I'm just going to cover these back up. We're just going to lay them over here in case we need to grab them again. And what I want to do is I want to decide where I want the magnet to go here, because we're going to cover this. So I think I'm going to put it, and let me get my little pokey tool. Oh, there it is. And I am going to lift this magnet. Let me get it over here on this so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. There we go. Oops. Now you're going to have to hang on to them, because if you're using a little picky tool like this, the magnets are going to want to come up and attach themselves to it. So I'm just going to hold them down, and I'm peeling that off. Now I'm going to place it. See how good it sticks to your little tool? Let me zoom you back out now so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And I want this magnet to live right about at that little point, but down just enough. So I am going to put that magnet right about there. I'm going to press it really good. And now I'm going to take the adhesive off of this one. And what this does by letting them stick together like this is going to give you the exact place that you need this magnet to lay. So when I move this over and press that down, the adhesive on the back of that magnet is going to stick. And then when we get ready to open this, our magnet's going to be right there. And that's okay. We're going to put something to cover that, and we're going to cover here. So what I've done is I wanted another pocket to live here. And I was thinking that I think what I want to do is I want this here, and then I want this to flip up here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to lay this down here. And I do need to round that just a tiny bit better than I did. I think I've got a corner rounder. I have two corner rounders, and I think that 1-inch one will work really good for these. These are the little EK Success or EK Tools corner rounders. Yep, and that gave me a nice little round, just like I needed. We're going to lay that up there because that may come in handy again. So I'm just going to glue that down about like so. And if it doesn't match up perfect with that, we'll trim it after we get it glued down. This is a very pretty textured paper. You can hear when I'm putting the glue on it that it's textured. It's very heavy, and just a very nice quality cardstock. I think this was one of those pages out of the 8x8. Okay, now we're going to lay this down about like here. We didn't quite cover the magnet because I really wanted it to hit over here. But that's okay, because we're not done. We are not done. Now, you know what? I got that a little too close in that Let's see if we can lift this up without tearing it. And see, like I said, you don't always get things put down where you want them just at the first try. So, you know, if you don't, I want this to live about here. We don't want to get into this bend because that will prevent this from going together smoothly like we want it. And this mistake might have helped me because I might cover my magnet this time. Let's see how this is going to work. And voila, it did. And it got it out of that hinge, so now it does work. We do need to trim that off right there, but that's not a problem. We'll just take our little cutter bee scissors and just go right around that, and it'll be perfect. Okay, I am going to lift this up because I don't want to cut into that. Tell you what, let's take this page out so I can actually motivate it a little bit better than what I was. Okay, yeah, now we can turn it over like this, get all that stuff out of my way, and then we can trim this off just like so. And you know, in paper, nothing has to be perfect. We're not perfect, paper's not perfect, and you know, your album's not going to be absolutely perfect, but you can camouflage. You know, I always think of it like putting on makeup. I don't go out of the house without my makeup, but it camouflages my flaws, and it's the same way with paper. You got pretty paper, so cover that ugly chipboard up with some pretty paper. Make this work. Okay, that looks much, much better. All right, so now we have this piece, and I cut this piece at 6 5/8 by 4 5/8. And I scored it at the top at 1/2 inch, and then after I bent this down, I rounded this corner. I'm going to actually come back in with this corner rounder, and I didn't use this one, so that seems like it's giving us a little bit better clean corner on it. And I left this side straight because I want this to live right here. And this is going to actually be a flip up that will flip out, so we are actually going to cover that too. But let's get this down on here, and I tell you what, let's cover this before we do that. I think that would be a better thing to do. So let's go ahead and find out what paper we want to cover. So this is going to flip up, and I want to make sure that I get something that's coordinating with this piece here. And I absolutely love the poinsettias in there. They are gorgeous. So let's look over here and see what we have that would look so pretty up in there. I am thinking that maybe that green would, oh yeah, that green, and this has got a little sheen to it. I don't know if it's catching, yeah, there you go. A little bit of a sheen to it, and it is just gorgeous. So what I'm going to do this old school. I guess I'll do this Tracy and Bill style. How about that? I want to do it below this tab, and I'll tell you why. I don't want it to be so bulky up in there that it doesn't lay good. So I'm just going to hold that, and I'm going to cut around it. No measuring. You don't always have to measure. Now, I'm a stickler for measuring. I think y'all got the gist of that with my other videos. But with a mini album, when you're trying to get, and I'm not doing a very good job, let's try the longer scissors and see if I can slice through that a little bit better than I am. cutter bees don't cut long straight lines as good as these do. That's why they're good for fussy cutting, but not long straight. Okay, that's definitely not perfect, but that's all right. Not bad. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to use this corner rounder on it. And then we're going to glue that inside. Okay. So let me get my trash out of the way, and then we are going to put this down on here like so. And we want to make sure that we just butt it up in there, but we don't hinder. Make sure I'm getting in frame. I'm so bad at working down here and not here, and I've got to remember that you need to see what I'm doing, so I'm going to try to do better with that. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm just going to glue. The good thing about this piece of paper, by putting it down, it's not a two-sided piece of paper, so I don't feel like I'm wasting a pretty side of the paper by gluing it down. Do y'all ever feel that way? I know I do. Sometimes I love both sides of the paper, and I'm like, oh, which side do I love better? I don't know. I've got a little bit of an overhang, but I didn't want to go up into there too high because I really want that to lay. So we can still go back around here again. Actually, I'm going to just cut both. Just like that, and I'm going to come down on this side, just getting that scant little edge off. So I don't want to cut on this side. I don't want to cut the this paper on this side. I just want to go down and get that excess off. And I guess I probably could have put this in my trimmer and got a much more even cut, but it's okay. This is working. And I did end up cutting a little bit of that off, but now I do have that straight edge, and that's what I was looking for. So let me clean up some of my scraps here. My little shavings that needs to go in the trash. And now let's pull this page back over. And we are going to put this down right here, and then we're going to have a nice little flip out to put something else on. So the more you layer your album like this, the more pictures you'll be able to get in it, and the better that everything will be as far as having room. So I love doing flip outs and flip ups and flip downs. I think it really adds to the character of your album. I want to make sure I get that butted up to the top. Let's make sure that still goes over, and it does. Oops. I'm going to turn this around so I can see exactly where I'm gluing it. And I'm just going to press that down for a minute and make sure that piece gets adhered really, really well. There. All right, and I think we're going to do a magnet here and here. I think. I got magnets there. I don't want it to be too clumsy with magnets. Maybe I won't. We'll just do this as a pop out, and I'm not real happy with the way that looks. So let me. You know, we've got a little bit of room here, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try my best just to trim this straight up so we're not seeing that white. I don't want to see the white. Okay, that looks much better. You see a little peak of that on the other side, but I like that. I think that looks so much better than it did before. Now we need to decide what we need to do here, but we're not going to do anything bulky because we don't need the extra bulk there. We've got enough over here, and we can put a pocket here. I think I'm going to put a strip right there with something on it, and we can stick stuff down in there. And look at these little cutouts. I love that little Santa Claus right there. I love this whole strip right here. I think that would be so cute to put a little band right there. So let me get my trimmer, and I am going to cut some of these out. And again, if you have little cutouts, by all means, even if they're small like this, use them, because this can make your decorating so easy and so beautiful. So let's see, I need to cut, I think I'm going to use my scissors and cut this right here and here. I think what I want to do is just cut him out so that that little gold edge is framing, just like so. Okay, so we got that cut, and we have this little piece cut, and I am thinking we can score this about 1/4 of an inch, and we can have glue this directly down, or maybe even just trim it 1/4 of an inch. Let's see, let's take just a little smidgen off here, and then take a little smidgen off of our Santa. And now this ought to, yeah, this would look so pretty right there, wouldn't it? It just really coordinates well with that. Y'all notice I can't cut straight. That's why I like my trimmer. With my trimmer, I can always get it straight. Much better. Trimmer to the rescue. Okay. I don't know if we're going to finish this today or not, because I so want to, I wanted to finish up the album, because I've got some other, I had some requests to come in for some mass stamping. I have some other ideas of things that I want to do, and I've got another card that I want to do. So I've just got so many ideas of some things that are just, I think I like the Santa over there and this here. So I'm going to glue this down directly to this front page. So when it flips up, we can actually put some pictures or whatever behind here, some little journal cards or whatever. So I'm just going to put glue across the top and the bottom. And I'm going to try to bow it well, I don't know if I want it bowed, because you need it a little bit tighter. So I'm going to let it live right on the bottom corner, or bottom edge, and up on the top. And now you've got to place, let's make sure that it's stuck before we try to stick something under it. A lot of times before you stick things under it, I know I've been doing that, because I just wanted you to see what it looks like. But I think we're going to leave that like it is. And now I need a red strip of paper. And let's see, that one's not going to work. How about this? It says Merry Christmas. Santa would look so cute on that. So I am going to cut a strip 2 inches off of this. And we know this is a 6-inch piece. So this side of your trimmer is your 2-inch. So if you put it right to the edge and cut, you're going to always have a 2-inch strip. So, and we have, and I'll show you that it comes out to exactly 2 inches. So that's a good rule of thumb. And if you lay it to this corner, it's always 4 inches. So when you need a 4-inch mat, if you're using this particular trimmer, which is the Cricut, and I love it. My husband went out yesterday and he was going to get me new blades for it, and he couldn't find them anywhere. And finally I told him, I said, honey, don't worry about it, just go and do the rest of the shopping and come on back home, because he was going to all the different craft stores trying to find that for me. I am going to use some dimensional tape on this because I want it to pop up just a little bit. So I'm going to cut me a piece about so big. I did cut it a little bit larger than I need it. That's okay. I'm going to cut it down right here. And I'm going to stick this right in the middle, up toward the top. Well, actually that's the bottom. I wasn't paying attention when I laid my tape on it. So I'm going to put another piece right there. And I'm going to save that little piece because I didn't need it, but we'll need it on something else. So I'm going to just press this down really good and then release my backer. And I want him to be centered as best I can. So I'm going to put this strip right there on my 2-inch, and we know it's 6. So 1, 2, 3. So he needs to be centered about there. So always use your mat to your advantage when you're trying to center stuff up. It really does help. Isn't that cute? So let's bring this back over, and we are going to put this right here, and I think I'm going to make this come up a little bit. So let's see, we're going to put a little piece of binding strip on the back of this, and I wonder if I can get a little piece off of this red. That would be pretty. Alright, let's cut. Let's see if we can get us a 2-inch. No, a 1-inch, I'm sorry. 1 inch. And then see if we can cut it at 2. And this is what I call taking advantage of your scraps. So if you got little scrap pieces, hang on to them, because you might need a little piece here or there, and that will give it to you without having to cut into a larger piece. And never know, that larger piece might be something you need to create something else beautiful. So I say use up your scraps if you can. Okay, let's fold this down and put that right there. It does need to be trimmed just a hair, so I'm going to trim it on the side that was rounded. And now all I'm going to do, and y'all see me do this over and over, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this. Yeah, right here, like so. Trying to stay in camera frame, y'all. Oh, my constant battle. And making sure that I'm sticking it at the top and not the bottom. Now I'm going to bring that up so I can see it, because I want this to be right up to the top edge, and that looks almost good. Not quite. That's okay. We're just going to move it and push it up to that top corner, top edge, and then I'm going to use my bone folder, and I'm going to really varnish that down good. And then we're going to put this right here. I love that. I think it's so pretty. And again, I'm going to use my mat, because I know that's a 6 by 6, so I need to put that right in the middle of that 3-inch line. And there we go. Okay, that's in. So I'm going to debate if I want to put a magnet here. I still think I want to put something else on this page under here. I haven't decided yet. Y'all know how indecisive I am. But look how cute this page is now. We still got to do the back side, but you have got the magnet flip here, you got a place here, you have this opens, it flips up, you've got a place here. We're going to come back because I'm going to think that over and decide what I want to do there. And I also want some little something here, and I have not decided exactly what I want. But I tell you what, let's go ahead and work on the other side. And I think, let's see, we're up to about 30 minutes with this one. So maybe what I'll do is I'll stop here. Let's go ahead and see what we can do with this page. I do have an idea, and I was thinking about making this. Here is a beautiful package. How does that look? I don't know if I like that. I think this needs to be against a white piece of paper to really come. I don't know that I'm feeling that little package as much as I thought I would. So let's see. I love this Christmas tree. This Christmas tree would be really cute. Yes, I think I have decided what I'm going to do with this page. I am going to glue this Christmas tree to this piece right here, just like so. And then I'm going to cut this down, and this is going to be a pocket that's going to fold out. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let me get my glue, and we will get the glue on this. Now I could use my Xyron for this, but I'm not. I'm just going to use dots of art glitter glue, and I'm just going to dot it. The bad thing about art glitter glue is it dries fast, and the good thing about art glitter glue, it dries fast. So it will come together really quick, and it will dry before I get. So I may end up having to run this through the Xyron after all. But if I can get this to glue, that would be perfect. And once I get this page done on this side, I think we'll close the video out for today, and we'll come back and work on this again in the next video. Let's see if we can get our tree stuck down. I want him to be down at the bottom and over to this side, but I want to make sure he's nice and straight. And I think we got him. It's a little piece right here that didn't get glue, but I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there under it and just smash him down into it. And remember, our art glitter glue is going to dry clear, so it's going to look beautiful. There we go. I love it. A little bit right there. So if you have a dowel like this and it's got a little intricate pieces, you can, if you have a Xyron, you can run it through that. If you don't, you can do what I did just there. So I just want to kind of show you that you have options. If you don't have certain equipment, it doesn't mean that you can't do the same thing. You just have to think outside the box and do it a little different. Now there's another piece that we're going to save to use, but this is going to go right here, and I think I'm going to hinge that so it comes out, which will help give us another spot. I could do the pocket right here. I love this Christmas tree on that gold. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to hinge this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hinge it with this piece. So I'm going to cut a 1-inch piece off of this side, and then we are going to put that down. Okay. So we're going to score this in the middle. Actually, I think I want it to go this way because I don't want the the gold to show on this side. So we're going to glue that down just like this. So let's put some glue across the edge. I'm just going to work that to the edge, just like that, pressing it. Now I'm going to use my bone folder, and I am going to varnish that down really well, just like that. And see, it looks like it's all one piece. I am going to angle these just a little bit, take a little bit of that bulk out. So let's just angle like so. Cut that little snippet off right there. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to angle out like so. Just getting that bulk out of there so when we glue it down on this piece, and it's going to live on here just like this. All right, this is going to look really, really pretty. So now we're going to put our glue down again on the gold. I like doing these hinges and fold outs because I think it gives you so much more space in your album than just doing a pocket. Don't get me wrong, I like the pockets, but there's so many albums out there that are just pocket, pocket, pocket. And sometimes you want something a little different than a pocket. I even had one of my subscribers that said that. There we go. So now we have another fold out. I am going to close out our video for now because we are up to about 36 minutes or so, and I don't want y'all to get bored with this. So I want to give you a little bit each day until we get this done, and I think it's coming together beautifully. I love this page. I love all the flip outs. I love the fact that we got so many different places that we can put pictures, but yet it's very Christmassy. I think it's coming together beautiful. So we're going to close for now. I want to thank you so much for tuning in once again, and we'll see you for, what will it be, part 6? I believe it will be. So happy crafting. God bless you so much. I want to thank you again for your support, for subscribing to my channel. And if you're watching this and you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. You'll be notified when videos come up. And I want to thank you so much. Also, if you would like and share this series with friends and family, or share it on your social media page, you never know, that could help somebody else that may want to craft and learn new techniques. So I thank you so much again for all that you mean to me, and just always being there for me. So y'all have a very blessed day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.